Alright, so this isn't necessarily the video that I was planning to make today, but the American school system is cooked. And the reason I think that is because just the other day, I was talking with my fiance, and she was telling me about how she had just turned in an assignment for her English class or literature class or something. Like, she just turned in like a paper that she had to write. And it flagged her as being like 100% AI written. Now, I was there when she was writing the thing. I know she didn't use AI, and the things it was flagging were phrases that people use. It was flagging phrases that are maybe a little bit more complex, but like it was flagging random phrases, things like the article. It would flag the term the article when she was referencing an article that like she was quoting from an article and said the article said this, and it would flag that. And so I was thinking about it for a while, and I didn't realize like right away that I would maybe want to make a video about it, but I just started thinking about it and just like, okay, so obviously AI is rampant, and we've got people using it all the time to the point where people are experiencing like mental atrophy. Like they're becoming worse at writing things, becoming worse at like ideation and coming up with ideas because they're just relying too heavily on AIs to do this for them already. And then on the other end, you've got like these school softwares, like these softwares that are supposed to catch AIs and catch AI written work, that are literally penalizing like people for just being well read and well spoken, right? Like you literally have like these two prongs which are both converging into a stupid population, basically. Like essentially, like if we're being punished for being well spoken and articulate because it'll flag us and punish us, because she got a 0 on this assignment and she's contesting it. And I believe that she pulled up like the edit history from her Google Doc, so like she's okay. But just the idea that like you're punished for being too articulate because it claims that you're an AI. So you get punished for in the school system for being too articulate, and so you have to write worse in order to not sound like an AI. But then also there's all these people who are using AI and who are just like then using another software to humanize the writing, because apparently that's also a thing. And so then they're getting away with using AI because they humanize the writing with a different software. And so then they just lose the capability to read and write properly. And this is coming at a time when the average American apparently can only read at like a fifth grade level. I don't know if that's 100% accurate or not, but come on, we've seen the videos. We've seen the street interview videos where somebody will go up and ask a random person on the street basic history questions, basic geography questions, and I'm not even that good at geography. And these are things that I can answer really like super easily for the most part. And just like, the average American is just not that, I mean, they're just not that academic anymore. And I just feel like this is all coming in a big wave that's just converging to just creating this absolute monstrosity of complete uneducation. I would honestly call it a diseducation, to be honest, just because of the fact that like seriously, like we've got AI dumbing us down because we're using it too much and our own capabilities are atrophying. And then when you actually are not using AI and you are reading and writing well and you're using complex phrasing, the AI detection software literally penalizes you for doing that. So it's like the only way to avoid not being punished is to write like a third grader. You know what I mean? And it's like this is again just coming at a time when when people's reading comprehension is like apparently at an all-time low. Reading, like, just in general, like, I feel like people are reading far less than they used to, because now all this, now there's all this content that's just out there in a visual format or whatnot. And I mean, I'm not saying that consuming videos for information is bad necessarily, or that there aren't books that you consume just for entertainment, but I just feel like reading is a staple, and there have been studies that have been done to show that reading is a positive thing that you should do, because it genuinely, like, it has benefits cognitively, and it's at an all-time low right now. At least I would think so. I mean, I again, to be fair, I haven't like looked into it, and I don't know the exact statistics, but I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious that that's the case, because of like just the scrolling epidemic and the phone epidemic. It's I think pretty indisputable that people aren't reading paper books as much anymore. It just I don't know, the whole system is just, it feels like the whole system is just stacked. The cards are all stacked against you, the deck. So yeah, I don't know. So I just wanted to make that video real quick, just while I had a quick moment, and because, yeah, like I said, I wasn't necessarily planning for this to be the video that I was making, so I'm probably going to record another one and post it not too long after this one. I might wait to post it until a little later, just algorithmically or whatnot, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I wanted to say, though, is just I feel like the education system's pretty cooked, because I mean, the other thing too, to be fair, is that I feel like, I mean, to be fair, when academia is threatened by, like, just the fact that AI can write papers is basically threatening the integrity of all of academics now, which in my opinion speaks to a failing in the system of academia, because, like, obviously, like, there's like, oh, to become to get a PhD, you have to write a dissertation. Like, that is the litmus test, pretty much. Like, it's can you write this big paper, basically? And I'm like, is there a place for that? 100%. But I just feel like if the entire system of schooling is threatened just because we now have a software that can write papers for us, I feel like that speaks to a failing in the system of academia. Because I feel like it should be much more well-rounded than that. It shouldn't just be threatened because, oh, now all of a sudden we can write papers with an AI. Shoot, now nobody can learn anything. I'm like, that shouldn't be how it works. I feel like schooling should be a little bit more complex and a little bit more sophisticated than that, more well-rounded. And I've always kind of thought, like, that the way that schooling has been handled is a little bit of a botched job, a little bit outdated, to be honest. I mean, because there have been correlations that have been drawn. Like, I've seen people who draw who draw like similarities between, like, a factory floor and an old classroom from like the 1800s and a classroom now, and the two classrooms look identical, right? Like, the layout of a classroom and the format where you're all sitting in rows and you have to raise your hand to speak and all this, like, it's not changed since like the 1800s. And how originally, when the classroom was formulated, it was to train children to become factory workers. And so if the format hasn't changed, we're literally still just being trained to be factory workers today. And so I almost feel like it, I don't know, it sounds a bit conspiratorial probably, but it's just kind of weird when we look at, okay, that our classrooms are still formulated to basically train us to be factory workers, and now it's coming where, like, you can't even be a well-read person writing in an articulate fashion anymore, because the detection softwares will flag you and give you a 0 because you're writing too much like an AI. I don't know. It's just weird. And this is definitely more of just like kind of a gut reaction video. Like, I don't have anything super formulated, but I just wanted to get that out there. So that's it. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.